What's up everyone, RyFX here, and welcome to my review of the Hot Toys Avengers Age of Ultron Thor. This is the MMS 306. On the front of the box we have a picture of Chris Hemsworth as Thor. It is not of the toy. And then below that we have in Chrome Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron. And below that we have Hot Toys Movie Master Series. And then we have the big Avengers Red A. On the side of the box we have a little piece of the handle of Mjolnir there. And then in Chrome it says Thor MMS 306 1/6 scale collectible figure. And on the back of the box we have a big Avengers A again, and our warning labels and licensing and everything that went into the figure. Now on this side of the box we have a piece of Thor's hand there, and we have a symbol of Mjolnir. The great thing about the Avengers boxes is that they have all their own symbols. So for instance, Thor's is Mjolnir and Captain America is a shield. So when you have them stacked side by side, they all look nice and neat, and you could tell which box is which. It's a really nice thing that they did on the boxes of the Avengers. Now on the top of the box it says Thor MMS 306 1/6 scale collectible figure. Pretty much the same thing we saw on that one side, nothing really different. And then on the bottom it says Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron. Now when you slip off the slipcover, you're treated with a window display to the figure. The figure and its accessories are kind of out of there right now. And on the side you pretty much see the same thing. And then with the back, instead of seeing the wording labels, you see the credits. And then on this side you pretty much see the same thing with the Mjolnir symbol. Now with the Thor figure you get a few accessories. You get 4 pairs of hands, some slightly open hands, some aggressively open hands. You get 2 Mjolnir holding hands, and you get 2 fisted hands. You also get 2 extra wrist pegs in case you break them. You get a metal Mjolnir, and you get a Mjolnir with the light up feature, which is all plastic, it's not metal. And then you get a lightning or electricity type effect. Now here's a close-up version of the metal Mjolnir. It's really nice, the level of detail that they put in this thing. I really just love the look of it, and it's really heavy. The problem with it is that it's heavy. It really kind of weighs everything down. With the original Avengers Thor, he had a tough time holding it up because the only Mjolnir you got with that figure was this metal one. But with this figure he does hold it up pretty well. His joints are pretty tight, so it does work out okay. And I just really love the look of this Mjolnir. It looks really nice, and I'm glad they included it still, even though the plastic one is there. The metal just gives off that nice shine. Now here's the plastic version of the Mjolnir. As you can see, it doesn't give off that shine and vibrant look that the metal one does. It still has about all the same details with the Asgard symbols, I suppose, that are on it. And then right there you can see where the batteries go. The batteries are already pre-installed. And then all you have to do to turn it on is you just have to turn the handle and it will turn on. I will have pictures towards the end of this review showing how this looks in normal lighting. Right now it's pretty bright where I'm at in this video, so it's really hard to see, but it lights up really well and it looks really nice. I'm pretty impressed with how they got the light up feature to work. Now here's the lightning effect or electric effect that you could just put on Mjolnir like so. You could also put this on the metal Mjolnir if you want to, but for this one it's best to put it on the light up one because the lights actually can flow through the plastic and it looks like it's lighting up as well. It looks really nice, and this is how I display my Thor figure. Now here's the stand that the Avengers Thor comes with. This is the same stand that all the other Avengers come with except for the Hulk, of course. It has just that nice Avengers theme going all through it, and it says Avengers Thor, and of course you have your licensing at the bottom. It's pretty standard with the other ones, nothing different. Now here's the Avengers Age of Ultron Thor. This is a huge upgrade from the original Avengers Thor. The original Avengers Thor, just the face sculpt just did not look like him. It did not look like Chris Hemsworth. It just felt really off, and everything just about the figure just wasn't working. The arms would fall over. This one, I had the metal Mjolnir in his arms, and he could hold it up just fine. And the head sculpt looks just like Chris Hemsworth. I'm very pleased with the head sculpt. They did an amazing job with this. The previous one just looked awful. And the hair, I would have preferred actual hair, but for this, considering he has braids and like it's tied back and stuff in certain areas, I could see why they went with the actual sculpt with this. It looks really good. I'm actually pleased with the sculpted hair with this figure. Now the arms of the figure have a rubber sleeve going over it. Something new that Hot Toys has been doing with a couple of figures now. It pretty much hides the joints around the elbow area, and you could just barely see them. On this figure, the sleeve is a lot thicker. It seems like it'll do a little bit better than previous figures that have this arm sleeve. And the suit is a rubber and plastic mix. I think they did a great job on the look of it. It looks just like Thor's costume. I'm very happy with the level of detail that went into it. It's the symbols all have etching in them. You can see just all the etching in all those little like circle areas, whatever those are, and it looks great. And the boots, you could tell they have some weathering on them, and his gauntlets have a little bit weathering too, and his cape as well. You could see it's kind of like a reddish burgundy, and there's some areas where it looks kind of dark. It kind of goes into like a black section of the cape he has on. It is kind of hard to see, but you could just probably barely see it in the video. If you have it in real life, you could see it a lot better. Pretty much about the bottom half, you could see it a lot better. And here's the sculpted hair. It just looks great. I actually like the sculpted hair a lot. I believe that I said that before. And just the detail with the hands like that, it just looks really good. I'm just very happy with the detail here. It's just a overall huge upgrade in comparison with the other Avengers Thor. They did a great job with the level of detail in the hair, the face, and just the costume. Now we'll do some articulation, starting with the head. Try to get him to look all the way left as much as I can until the hair kind of stops me there. And that's pretty much it. In terms of articulation to the side, I try to get him to do a 360 motion, but his head pops off of me right when I kind of go beyond that one point. Now I have him look down and then up. He gets okay articulation, I suppose, in the neck there. Have him cock side to side. It's okay. Now he has multiple articulation points in his shoulder. It could go up to about there, and of course right there you can see the multiple articulation joints in his shoulder, and that's about as far down as he could go, and he could do a full 360. And you can see right there he has that multiple joint in his shoulder. Now right here, of course, he has that rubber sleeve, and it kind of stops him about there. It does a full 90-degree angle. It's not too bad. I'm actually okay with it. But you can see the rubber folds a little bit, but it's not as bad as other figures. As you can see, it looks like I have a tear or like some kind of little imperfection there. And the wrist pegs are the same. Try to do some ab articulation, and it's just not there. The suit is just all rubber plastic, it doesn't move. And try to do the splits. That's about all he could go. And we have his leg going back. It goes okay, and as far as forward, that's about as far forward as he could get because of the suit. And for knee articulation, he gets about as good knee articulation as other figures. They seem to do a really good job with the knee articulation. Now, a big thing is that he has some good ankle articulation from side to side and then up and down. They did a great job. I'm glad they're starting to do this with their booted figures, unlike the Hawkeye and and Black Widow. For Hot Toys, Avengers Age of Ultron Thor, I think they did a great job with this figure. I'm really happy with it. The ankle articulation is a nice touch, and the different Mjolnirs giving us the metal one along with the new plastic one with the light up feature and the electricity or lightning effect. It's really nice. I really like that part of the figure. And of course the cape looks really nice, having some black in it. I really like that part of the figure. And the head sculpt looks just like Chris Hemsworth, unlike the previous Avengers Thor. It just looked off. And it's really nice that the joints are strong enough to hold up that metal Mjolnir if I want to have him holding that metal Mjolnir, which I will have him displayed with, because I'm not going to have him lit up with the plastic one all the time. So that would be the way I'm going to go with it. So I'm glad they included it to add more of that lifelike look to the figure. It just looks so good with that metal Mjolnir. I'm very happy that they still included that. It looks really good on the figure. Now, if I had to rate the figures, the Avengers figures that I have so far as the main core team, I have to say that I think Hawkeye is still number one, and below that would be the Hulk, and below that I would have to say the Captain would have to be number 3. In all honesty, that second head sculpt for the Captain is really awesome that they included that, as well as that new metal shield. With this Thor, I feel like kind of seen it before. There was the Thor the Dark World looked pretty good, and this one kind of takes a bit from that, without having the sleeves, so they didn't have to really change much in the figure. All they really added was that light up feature from what I remember, and that's pretty much it. But the head sculpt, I think, looks a little bit more like Chris Hemsworth than the one in the Dark World does, so I still think this is an upgrade. But yeah, in terms of rating, I rate this above Black Widow, but it's going to be below Captain America. Captain America is pretty much a brand new figure, and you can't say for the Hulk, that figure is just way too amazing looking. As far as the deluxe edition with that extra body, and the screaming face, it looks just so good. It easily became number 2. It could have became number 1, but it's just that shade of green that kind of bugs me a little bit. So for $210, I think this is a great looking Thor. I think y'all will be very happy with it, and I'm very happy to have this in my Avengers collection, looking the right way. So that's it for my review of the Hot Toys Avengers Age of Ultron Thor. This is the MMS 306. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and all that stuff. So take care and have a good day. Bye bye.
If you enjoyed that video, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You have 5 seconds to comply. 4, 3, 2, 1.